welcome back to the Daily 5 podcast. This is me, Rainy Cage, and starting this Friday and for every foreseeable Friday, I'm going to be talking about my box office predictions. I'm kind of weirdly obsessed with the box office. I like to see how movies do, see the all-time, see how much percentages they drop. I play a game that I'll probably talk about in another podcast, where it basically you have to try and predict what the box office is going to be for certain movies. So I'm kind of just a geek like that, and I figured every Friday I'm going to talk about my top 5 box office predictions for the upcoming weekend. And then what I'll probably do is recap the weekend before and see how right I was, and maybe talk about if there was anything shocking that happened. But since this is my first week, I'll just skip over last weekend and get right into this weekend. We've got one big release this weekend, and that's Spider-Man Homecoming. So it's going to be pretty crazy. The Spider-Man movies are usually really big at the box office. So, but we've gotten a lot of incarnations of them, and who knows if people are getting sick of Spider-Man and how the box office is going to go with them. So let's get right to it. My number 5 for this weekend, I think, is going to be Transformers: The Last Knight. It's averaging like a 60% drop. I think this is week 3 for Transformers. So I think it's going to do about $6 million this weekend and roll in at number 5. My number 4, I'm going to go with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's been crazy. I mean, it's going on 5 or 6 months now, or 5 or 6 weeks, and it's averaging like a 30% drop. So I'm going to give it $9 million for the number 4 spot. My number 3, the crazy hit of this past weekend, Baby Driver. It made over $20 million, and I don't know, I've got a weird feeling it's not going to drop as much as most movies do. So I'm going to give it $15 million. I know that's a little high. It may get down to like $10 million, but we'll see. If it does, I still think it can eke out the victory over Wonder Woman. So I'm going to give Baby Driver the number 3. Number 2, I'm going to give the last week's big hit, Despicable Me 3. I'm going to do a 60% drop on that because I feel like people are getting sick of Despicable Me. And so I'm going to give it $30 million, 60% drop, in the number 2 spot. Number 1, I'm going with, of course, Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, the real question here is going to be, how much is Spider-Man Homecoming going to make? A lot of people are predicting over $100 million. I've heard over $125 million. If you look at past Spider-Man movies, like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 opened with $91 million. The Amazing Spider-Man opened with $62 million. Spider-Man 3 opened with $151 million. So I think people are going in the middle. They think that there's more hype for this Spider-Man than there was those Amazing Spider-Mans. And because he's in the MCU now, I think people are really freaking out about Spider-Man, and probably will do pretty good. That, and it's been over a month since our last comic book movie, and I think people are ready to go back and see another one. So I'm going to go with Spider-Man making $125 million, which is definitely on the high end. I think Sony would be really happy with that opening, considering their last 2 Spider-Man movies didn't even crack $100 million. But it's easily going to be the top of the box office, so we'll see how it goes. I guess that's going to be it for me this episode. Look forward. Next Friday we'll compare, see how I did, and we'll talk about the next weekend in box office results. This is Rainy Cage. Until next time, peace out.